What advice, Baron Davis, would you give to Damian Lillard right now, as the only professional basketball coach he's known is now out, and the question is, can he win in Portland, one of the most talented, dynamic players in the game? What advice would you give him if you were sitting down with him today, Baron Davis?
Man, I mean, Damian's a man. You know, I would say for me, it would just be to be a listener. You know what I mean? So it's hard to give advice to somebody that you have not listened to and seen their perspective, or, you know, hear, you know, what they're going to do. You can only kind of like look at the situation and kind of judge and say, yeah, I've been in that situation before, but my situation that I reflect on is much different than, you know, Damian Lillard's situation. So, you know, before kind of giving advice, it's just better to be a listener.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. So I guess let me just walk in.
It's just the nature of the business. You know, it's the nature of the business. Like, you know, like this is now an opportunity for him to, you know, do something else, play a different way. You know what I mean? You know, take on a bigger challenge, right? You know, he has performed well with Terry Stotts, and I think that, you know, he's really, you know, just really like continues to maximize his potential, right? But I also feel like, you know, there's an opportunity with whoever the new coach is, and hopefully they make the new and the right coaching decision, that they can take his game to a whole nother level. And so, you know, I would just say it really depends on the coach, right? But I think for Dame, just be, which I know it is, it's what does this new coach, you know, see that I can improve on, right, to up my ante and up my game.
Do you think he can win in Portland? I guess I'll just walk through the front door on this one with you. What do you think? You do? I do.
I think, you know, for Portland, it's really about, you know, putting and assembling the right pieces together, right? You know, that's a team that every year they've had a different set of wing players, right, and backup point guards and things that, you know, a lot of people may not value, but it's super valuable. You know, and I also feel like they've had some injuries to their young guys, which have hurt them. But overall, it's like they have talent, and, you know, they're a couple pieces away, I think, and they have an opportunity, right? You know, you look at the West this year, there's going to be, you know, somebody new coming out, challenges. There's going to be somebody new coming out the East. So, you know, the league is starting to get, you know, a lot more competitive. And I think Portland could have been one of those teams that was in it.
Yeah, I guess, you know, the question is it does seem that once again, the league, you know, despite having obviously seen what the Heat did last year, making it to the finals, and Kawhi doing what he did in in Toronto, it still does seem to be you've got to team up with a superstar type league. We're seeing the Nets, even without Harden, be so terrific in Game 1, you know, because they have Durant and Kyrie, and that maybe when it all comes out in the wash, Giannis getting all that help from this offseason, it's still not enough because he doesn't have another superstar to team up with him like Kawhi does with Paul George potentially. You know, I know it's not cookie cutter, but it does seem that if you want to win a championship, you've got to get somebody to ride along with you, and maybe Lillard can't get that in Portland. That's the genuine conversation about the opportunity that he has, Baron. You know? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I hear you.
But you still believe he can win there in Portland? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and look, I always come from like this old school mentality. I was always like had to play the David to Goliath. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so I never had the privilege of playing, you know, on a, you know, superstar-driven team. You know, so but now that's the nature of the business, right? That's the way things go. But maybe Portland can get somebody in there that can be that person or that potential superstar.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.